Okay, so let's now discuss why it is the Texas polygraph industry wants me to shut the hell up. Okay, because believe me, when all of this was going on in 2008, all I could sit there and do is say, I don't understand why they're making such a big deal out of a declaratory judgment action where nobody's suing anybody for money. Why is it that they're so scared? How do I solve for X? Okay? How do I solve for X? And I would sit there and I would think about it. I almost obsessed about it, to be honest with you. Okay? And constantly, it was, what is X? Solve for X. Well, then I realized something. In order to solve for X, you have to have the variable. And in this case, the variable is Y. Y. W-H-Y. That's the variable. So to solve for X, why is the variable? Why? Why are they so worked up? Well, here's the discovery that we got, and then all of a sudden the why became a lot more clear. And it scared the hell out of me when I saw it. And pissed me off. And you know what? I'm still pissed about it. So let's go ahead and let's go over the numbers from Winston Zaffarelli. Okay? According to them, which who represented Yoke Fellows and Michael Strain, okay, 690 tests within a 9-month period of time. That is, at those day standards, $200 per. That's $138,000 in 9 months. That's pretty damn good, right? Richard Wood and Associates got 633 of those polygraph examinations. Now, in the approved polygraph examiners list, it says that the examinee is given a list and can go to the examiner of his choosing. Well, what are the odds that out of 690 people, 633 are going to go to, out of 690 tests, 633 are going to Richard Wood? What are the odds? What are the statistical probabilities there? Okay? Now, this actually becomes kind of interesting too. First of all, 633 tests, that's $126,600. By the way, these aren't my numbers. It's theirs. I didn't make this up. They gave me these numbers. So, $126,600. Okay? Behavioral measures got 26 tests. That's $5,200. But there's a reason for that, and I'll explain it in a few minutes or in the other video. Okay? And then there are 6 other polygraph firms that only got 31 tests. That's $6,200. We divide that up by 6. That's $1,033.3. Actually, 0.33333333. Okay? So, oh, and that includes the only black polygraph examiner of the time here in Texas. Pretty sure he was the only one, because that's the only one I ever saw at the meetings, was Raymond Lee, who, by the way, is a good man. Raymond Lee was a good man, and I really deeply liked him. But anyway, okay. Now, why did behavioral measures only get 26? Well, that's easy. Because before I went to Tarrant County, I worked here in Collin County under my intern instructor, and we had to bow and scrape for tests during that period of time too. Why? Because they almost all went to behavioral measures. Behavioral measures has Dallas County, and behavioral measures has Collin County. And they still do. The sex offender providers still pull this whole little fucking monopoly going. Okay? And you know what? You can deny it all you want. Please take me to court on it. Take me to court on it so that we can go with discovery. Please take me to court. I'd love that. But then again, it's so easy to lose data nowadays, isn't it? Especially when there's no law that says you have to keep it. Just throwing that out there. But let's go back up here to Richard Wood and Associates, and here's their discovery. This is the next page. You can see yoke, fellows, and strain. Go ahead and add those two numbers up, and it comes to 348 tests. Now, 348 tests that they say that they did, as opposed to the 633 that yoke, fellows, and strain said that they gave them, which is kind of weird, huh? Where did the other 285 tests go? Well, it says right here down at the bottom in fine print, retests for inconclusive results are not included and were performed at no charge. All right, well, let's take a look at it nonetheless. 348 tests, that's $69,600. That's still a pretty nice piece of change for at 9 months worth of work, right? But let's take a look at these 285 tests that they did at no charge. That's $57,000 that they say they did at no charge. If there's anybody else that believes that somebody did $57,000 worth of free work, please comment inside of the section. Please tell me that, Joe, you're being unreasonable with that thought. Go ahead. Somebody did $57,000 worth of free work, and let's take a look at another interesting number. 285 tests out of 633 tests. That's a 45% inconclusive rate. And it could still be going on. And I suspect it's still going on. But we can't prove it because, once again, all they got to do, the minute examinees leave the room, click. For all we know, they've watched these videos and they're already clicking. They're already hitting that button like Bart Simpson over and over and over again. Guaranteed. I'd be willing to bet my left testicle on it. Okay? But now, let's take a look at how much all this would add up into in today's numbers. 690 tests. That's $241,500 in today's standard cost. 633 tests. That's $221,550. 348 tests. $121,800. Okay? Inconclusives that they say that they'll do at no charge, $99,750. While all of us get $1,808. 0.33333. Is there anybody that truly wants to wonder why it is these people are doing this? Is there any reason, is there anybody that still wonders why it is they're trying to keep this secret? Why it is they're trying to shut me up? Remember, Richard Wood and Associates still has the territory out there in Tarrant County. Behavioral measures, they still have Dallas and Collin County. As a matter of fact, I've heard from a rumor that the Dallas County approved polygraph examiners list only has 2 firms on it. And I guarantee you there's a whole lot more than two polygraph firms in Dallas, in the DFW area. Guarantee you there's more than that. I haven't seen the recent Collin County polygraph examiners list, but never mind. I'm not going to say anything about that. But the point is, this is why. And the problem is that I solved for X and they don't like it.